Microsoft is bringing even more ads to Windows 11. This is something I've talked about in the past few months, as Microsoft was testing start menu ads in the Windows 11 betas, which have now officially deployed to a few unlucky users with the latest update. And it seems that just like an annoying little rash that you've ignored for way too long, the Windows ads have spread into the settings menu, where the initial homepage is actually just a giant advertisement for Office 365. And while this is still in beta, considering Microsoft's past behavior, they're not gonna care and they'll just push this out to the mainstream in a few months. Because Microsoft just literally doesn't care. I mean, what are you gonna do? Switch to Mac, Linux, follow this channel? I mean, these are all great options if you think about it. Let me know what you think. Do you care or do you not? Oh boy, it's another video about Microsoft and Windows, which I've done quite a few of these videos past a couple months, and I don't think a single one of them has been positive. It seems that Microsoft is just pushing out updates, seeing how the community reacts, and if they react poorly, if they're very negative about Microsoft, Microsoft seems to be happy. That seems to be their metric for success, right? Like, how much can we just piss off our community? Like, you know, I think they're just having fun at this point, right? So what's happening now is that we are getting ads in the settings menu. So a couple months ago, back in September, in a beta build, it was spotted that Microsoft was adding ads into the start menu, and that has now officially been deployed to a few unlucky users. And now in a new beta, it has been spotted that Microsoft is going to put these same sort of style ads promoting Office 365, OneDrive, their products. They're now going to be putting this into the settings of your computer. I mean, look at this homepage. It's literally just ads. There's no information. Try Office 365, then it's like loading some OneDrive info, and if you don't have OneDrive running and all of that, it might promote OneDrive to you as well. And then, of course, good old finish securing your account. So cool. And the unfortunate reality of this situation is that Microsoft just really doesn't care. Like, they'll just do this, they'll just want to get some more money, and like they don't really care about Windows that much. They care about their server side with Azure. They make way more money that way, and at the same time, it's not like there's so many options available, right? You have Mac, which you can't really buy because while they have some genuinely pretty good machines, it's still Apple. For instance, the Mac Mini starts at $600. That is fantastic, amazing. If you just want 8 gigs of RAM more, you need to pay $200, which is just crazy if we look at DDR4 prices. For instance, for the last gen, you can get 64 gigs of RAM for under $150, whereas for $200, you're just getting 8 gigs from Apple, and then it's like completely unupgradable. And to be fair, it is very good memory, but it's still insanely expensive. And then of course you have Linux, which a lot more people are actually switching to because they're realizing just how much tracking is going on within Windows, and because Microsoft has just been releasing buggy updates for the past 2 years, so a lot of people have just packed up, moved to Linux. However, unfortunately, that is still a very scary move for a big majority of people. If you work at a company that maybe has some proprietary software that might only work on Windows, that's a problem. Linux is still a bit harder to use. You still need to use the console in a few scenarios, but a lot of people are waking up in moving to Linux, and devices such as the Steam Deck, such as the Chrome OS, Chromebooks, these things are also really helping to just push Linux to the mainstream. Just like Microsoft, it's pretty much trying to do whatever they can to make you so pissed off that you'll just uninstall Windows and install Linux. And lastly, the thing about these newest ads that Microsoft is planning to add within Windows, so I actually really don't mind this too much. Like, I'm fine with this. Like, sure, you want to promote Office 365, I would still say that's a bad move, because for me, for example, I actually enjoy Office 365. It's my preferred Office to use. I've used it for well over a decade. It's just what I use. I like it. But when they pull shit like this, it makes me not want to use Office 365 just out of principle, right? It's sort of like when a manufacturer just does some shitty things, you know? They promote their product in a shitty way. Like, if some car or whatever that I would be interested in because it's a good vehicle would be promoted on like gambling sites and stuff like that, I wouldn't, you know, I don't want that. So yeah, I don't really mind these things all that much. I think the start menu ads is very incredibly appalling, but these sort of ads I actually don't mind, because how often are you really going to be diving into the settings? Not all that often, so I think it's fine. But the big problem is we will just have to wait and see where this will lead, right? Because it started in the start menu. It's now already in the settings. So next up, what? They might just make audible ads where every 5 seconds they're going to be like, hey, you don't have Office 365. Maybe buy it. Hey, you don't have Office 365, so let me know what you think about Microsoft's latest move. And please do indeed have a nice day, and remember to stay hydrated.